My name is Matt Flemming. My wife, Nicole, and I have been married now for about 6 years. We live on the West Coast in a beautiful small community on Vancouver Island. I was born in Toronto, but at the age of 3, our family moved to France, where my parents were missionaries for about 14 years. Yeah, I've always loved sports. It's one of my first words I actually said was ball. And it was really any sport. As long as it had any sort of ball involved, I was in. And I think rather as an introverted, shy guy growing up in a different country, sports was often what broke down the initial walls and kind of became my happy place and my safe place. I shared experience with others, and many of my friendships kind of were formed through that. And as I grew older, being able to share and teach that passion to kids and youth is something that really brought me lots of joy. I've been very fortunate to have worked in camp ministry for over 20 years now, working at many different camps across Canada. And camp actually is what brought me to the West Coast. I came here to work at Camp Qwanoes for one summer in 2005, and I ended up working there for about 14 years. Most of my years there, I was blessed to have worked as the recreation coordinator, overseeing over 75 different activities. I was very fortunate. I grew up in a Christian, very loving family. Again, my parents took both my sister and I, under the age of 4, to a foreign country with a different culture, different language, but really showed to me the faith my parents had in moving that family away from Canada to something so foreign. And over time, my parents have been a greatest example to me about what it means each and every day to live out their faith. And so I've always known that God existed. I've always known that He had a greater plan for my life. But sometimes I felt that I had maybe too much of a simple story and that maybe it didn't have much of an impact overall. And it wasn't maybe until I got baptized, after I shared my story to my church, that one of my pastor's 7-year-old son started asking questions about faith in God and about baptism, and I realized a little bit more that the impact of my story could have when such a powerful God is in control. Over time, as I've grown a bit in my relationship with Him, and it's become clear what gift God's given me and wants me to continue to use for His story. I knew that there were 3 things that were important to me: sports, the kids, and God. And I believe sports are a huge asset in bringing people together. When I look back at my own personal life and my most important relationships, for me, sports is often what brought us together. As a missionary with Fellowship International, I'm really excited to share this passion of sports with Onside to Vancouver Island. Be able to help open doors for churches and meeting these impactful connections in their community. Not only for kids to be able to have a great time playing sports and learn new skills, but hopefully for them to be able to continue with these relationships as they dive deeper in potentially their faith when they go back home to their families and schools. Yeah, for me, I think sport is kind of the entry level for something that's way bigger and greater, and for many kids, and they just don't know about it yet.
Onside Athletics exists to connect churches and communities through sport. We do this by providing summer camps and sports leagues for your community. That brings a wealth of knowledge when it comes to camp experience and sports experience. And we're super excited to see what God's going to do through Matt on Vancouver Island and in the communities that he is able to serve in.
Bringing something like Onside to BC and getting it started, especially in this season that we are in, is something that can come across a little scary and different, but I'm asking and I'm needing your help in this. I want you guys to partner with me. First in prayer for myself and my wife as a transition to this new position. Prayer for the leadership with both the fellowship and Onside. Prayer for the churches as they'll be the ones running the camps. And especially prayer for these families and these kids that come into the camps as they'll need to have open hearts to be able to hear the good news we want to share to them. Yeah, secondly, I think it's financially. I would love your support. I would love for you guys to be able to have a part in me being able to attain my dream of having Onside here in BC. And I would love to see the impact sports can have in this community.